we have Asia's largest startup festival, which is happening on 10th, 11th, 12th next month, August 10th, 11th and 12th in Bangalore. It's a place called Danahalli. It's the birthplace of Moshe Vishwas's place. Last year also we had at the same place. This is the second edition of the same conference. So last year we had about 2,500 startups completed for the prize money. Out of that we selected 15 startups. Those 15 startups we started mentoring soon after the conference. In fact, all the 15 startups selected by us during the last conference, they are all doing well. They are getting good funding and also getting good traction on the business also, because we don't leave these startups soon after the conference. Most of the conference, what happens, you give the award afterwards, they don't worry about how they are doing. Whereas here, every Saturday 10:30 to 11:30, there are 200 global mentors. They are speaking to them 10:30 to 11:30, so that they will identify whether they have got any problem with the business, problem with the finances, problem with the technology mentoring, all those things they will be guiding them. That's the reason why normally in the Silicon Valley, only 1 out of 10 startups, they succeed. That means if somebody invests in 10 startups, only 1 are successful as per the average Silicon Valley. Whereas here we want to prove other way around. We want to make sure that 9 out of 10 startups selected by us have to succeed. That is the kind of a formula we are working on. So why they are going to succeed is, for example, this conference which is happening on 10th, 11th, 12th in Bangalore, we are getting all the ecosystem partners. On one side, we are bringing the top VCs, venture capitalists, the Angel Forum members, managing board partners of many Angel Forum, they are also coming. In addition to that, we are getting a large number of HNIs. This was not the case in many conferences, because what happens is most of the VCs, they see the whether you are already revenue stage, whether you have the product into, you have the customers and all that. Then only they look at funding those startups. But many startups started by most of the students from IIIT and IITs and premier institutions. They come from middle class families. They don't come from the business families. So they struggle to manage during that process. That's why they call the so-called death valley of the startups. Most of the startups, they die in the death valley, because not because they are not good, because they don't have right kind of ecosystem support. Mostly the funding is one. The other one is mentoring. These are the two things which most of the startup companies they lack. So that's the reason why many companies they die in the startup death valleys. So we want to make sure that we get mentors to the conference. We get early stage investors like HNIs to the conference. We are also getting the angel investors and also the venture capitalists. That's one side. That's an investment side. The other important thing is, so suppose some startup has got a business. Some startup has got some product and he doesn't want to, he is not able to get the business. So for them, unless you connect them to the business leaders, that's the reason why we are inviting a large number of CXOs, global CXOs are coming. All the India global capability centers, for example, nearby I saw Wells Fargo India head is coming, State Street India head is coming, HSBC India head, JC Penny India head. So all the business leaders for this country from MNC companies, they are all coming. Why they are coming? Because they also have many problems to solve by the startups. They are also looking for good startups where they can provide solution. At the same time, for the startups to meet any managing director of a big company, multinational company, it's very difficult, because startups are basically started by a few students from the colleges and young people. They don't know how to reach out to those people. So all the GCC leaders are also coming. And similarly, the global CXOs, the global CTOs, CIOs of large companies from America, from London, Paris, and also Tel Aviv, Japan, South Korea, they are all also coming. So these are the people why we invited them. Basically, the startups, for example, there is a growth stage startup. He already got a funding from some investor. He has got a product, but he doesn't know how to get the business. See, without revenue, again they will fail. So we don't want them to fail because they don't have the right kind of connections. So we invited them to this conference so that they will be able to see how they can get the business for them. The third important element is the future startups are going to be, a lot of technology changes are happening. You must be hearing about ChatGPT, then quantum computing is also likely to come in the next 1 or 2 years. If that comes, the digital 1-0 paradigm is going to be changed. Between 1 and 0, there will be several states. So new algorithms, new mathematics, applied mathematics knowledge is required, and lots of things are required for the engineering college students or degree students. Today, our education system not geared up to provide that kind of education. So human capital is very important, particularly for the technology industry, technology startups. That's the reason why we have 2 round tables. One is called Education 5.0, is led by industry leaders. Is led by Ramesh Kaza, who is the a managing director for the State Street Corporation. It's a multi-billion-dollar company, and all the committee members are also come from the industry. So what industry wants, he is going to discuss in the round table, and accordingly that recommendations will be given to the government, state governments, universities, or IITs, or IIITs, so that the manpower is going to be made available. Without manpower, what is happening, some companies I have seen, their startup companies from Bangalore, Hyderabad, because there is no manpower here, they are contacting somebody in Vietnam, Philippines, or Czechoslovakia, Poland, or they are getting it done. But our boys and girls, they are losing the opportunity just because that human capital, right kind of human capital is not available. That's the reason why we have Education 5.0 as a round table. Similarly, University Connect. All the Vice Chancellor, for example, Ramaya University Vice Chancellor is coming, SRM University Vice Chancellor is coming, large Vice Chancellors are coming, IIT directors are also coming, IIT Tirupati, IIT Ahmedabad, IIT Hyderabad, they are also coming, IIIT Hyderabad director is coming. So they are also going to discuss what is that we need to do to help the startup companies, to help the technology industry. So what kind of new curriculums have to be introduced and all that. So that round table is going to discuss.
India Startup Foundation started the India Startup Festival last year. That was in October 22, and this is the second edition. We are starting in Muddanahalli in Bangalore on 10th, 11th, 12th of August. It's a 3-day festival. First day is all for the startup companies. More than 10,000 startups registered for the competition. Out of that, we'll be selecting the finalists, and they will all be coming to Muddanahalli on 10th of next month, and where all the juries, they're all from different walks of life. Some of them are venture capitalists, some of them are angel forum members, some of them are HNIs, and also CEOs of large companies. They will be the juries, and they will be selecting final 20 finalists, and those 20 finalists will be doing mentoring during the entire year before we go to the next year 2024. All these companies, we want to make sure that all the companies have to be successful, and we invited more than 10 country delegations. Majority of them are coming from United States as well as United Kingdom, and a large number of delegations are coming from these 2 countries, even from Japan, from South Korea and France. There are a lot of delegations are coming. So particularly for the startups, for them to get a business, one is funding. After funding, they have to get a business. For them to meet any big CEO or venture capital is very difficult. So we are bringing all of them. For example, there is a roundtable called Global CXO Roundtable. Many CXOs, multi-billion-dollar companies, decision makers from United States, they are all coming, and they are participating in the roundtable. Similarly, the Global Capability Center, that means companies like Wells Fargo, then HSBC, then State Street, all the JP Morgan Chase, all these country heads, they are all coming, because all of them, they got some problems to be solved in their companies, and they want to identify which startup company can solve the problem. That way, startup company is getting a business, because having a product, not getting a business, they will again will not be successful. That's the reason why we are creating all the components, funding on one side, mentoring as on one side, getting the business from all the business leaders, plus academic, we are inviting all the IIT directors, IIIT directors, vice chancellors of many universities. They are also coming, because human capital also has to be created. Plus, this particular conference is focusing on the rural India. Rural innovation is the bottom of the pyramid innovations, and rural agriculture, food technologies, rural finance, rural healthcare, rural education. All these things are going to be discussed. How we can identify some problems in those rural areas and give these problems to the startup companies and also give them some funding so that they will solve those problems in the rural area. Once they start solving the problems in the rural area, India, along with the urban areas like Bangalore, rural areas also will be benefited. They will also come onto the same platform. That's the reason why we have chosen the theme for this conference are the rural innovations and bottom of the pyramid innovations and all that. And this concept is going to be there for the next 5 years. All the roundtables also will continue for the next roundtables. In fact, I am telling all the roundtable chairmen that not only just giving a bhasan in the conference, you should see that every quarter what recommendations has been given by roundtable, whether this recommendation has been implemented or followed, and they have to give a presentation in the next 2024 conference how the recommendations given in the 2023 roundtable have been implemented on the ground. So we are going to monitor these things. That way, it is not a IRAM, GAIRAM kind of conference. Similarly, for startups also, we want to make sure the selected ones every week, Saturday, 10:30 to 11:30, will mentor them, whether they want funding, whether they want business, whether they want technology mentoring, all that we'll be doing on a continuous basis. Our theme is our startups to succeed and they have to create jobs. Job creation is the most important for this country at this point of time. With our 1.5 billion population, our population density in our country is very high. As long as job creation engine is running, there won't be any problem. The moment job creation engine stops, then you'll have all hartals, strikes everywhere, and there's going to be a big problem for every industry. That's the reason why we have chosen job creation through the startups is the theme that we are doing like a fire ritual, like a Ignam. And I want all the media people, press people to support this cause and tell all the startups to come and participate in our conference. Thank you.
Sir, your name?
My name is Jay Chaudhary. I am the founder and chairman of the India Startup Foundation.
Audio Jungle.